Hello again and welcome to my channel, Just Drew. I'm Drew, and on this channel I focus on reinvention, renewal and growth in one's life in their 20s, 30s and 40s and beyond. At the moment, I'm 42 and there are many things I'm realizing and I'd like to walk with you through them. Today, we're talking about being comfortable in discomfort, because that is a skill that I believe many people require in life, and it will make your life worth easier once you embrace it. In life, we all go through challenges. That's part of life. There's no life without a challenge. And as you're going through these challenges, you're going to be in uncomfortable situations. That's part of what a challenge is. It's discomfort. And there are a few things that I'd like to share, how to walk through that journey. And that's what I'm doing today. The first one I'd like to speak on is one's mindset while going through challenges. One thing I came across while living life is a book where they discussed mindset. It was a very popular book, and I'll link it below. And they spoke about fixed mindset or growth mindset. So you have to decide where you want to be. Of course, a fixed mindset would mean that you are just living life being rigid. You have no flexibility, no adaptability. Things should be one way and only that way, and there's no other option. But a growth mindset is where you look at life, you embrace change, you realize that maybe you don't know everything and maybe you're here to go through things, to develop in life, and while you're doing that, you're growing. And learning is part of growth. Going through challenges is part of growth. Accepting the challenges in a positive manner is part of growth. And a growth mindset is a tool that is very valuable in life. I was gifted this book by a beloved person, someone I love very much, and I'll be forever grateful to them for giving it to me, because I realized that in some aspects of my life I was stuck in a fixed mindset. Being educated in business, having an MBA and not getting the job that I wanted, that was being stuck in a fixed mindset. Going back to culinary school and getting a job as an apprentice chef and working towards that is definitely more lined towards having a growth mindset. And to be honest, I'm much happier, and it's what I'd like to do in my life. I want to do things I enjoy and be happy. So focus on your mindset when you are in uncomfortable situations or stuck in difficult discomfort. Another thing to focus on when you're looking for comfort in discomfort is realizing that negative thoughts can be detrimental. Negative thoughts can slow you down, they can wear you down, they're just extremely uncomfortable. And many times when it comes to negative thoughts, we just conjure them in our heads without and they may not be reality, and that's just the way the human brain was set up for whatever fantastic reason. But just realize when you have negative thoughts, not to dwell in them for too long. Find a distraction when you realize you're going down a negative path, and just look for a way to come out of it. It could be talking to a friend, talking it out, going for a walk, getting a drink, not too many drinks. It could be non-alcoholic, and even if it's an alcoholic drink, enjoying one or two never hurt anybody. And there's so many options. It could be gardening, which has become so popular nowadays, and drawing, and so many hobbies that one can focus on to get their mind and their brain out of negative thought patterns. And while you're going through whatever you're going through and you're working on whatever, it could be a hobby or a break that you're taking, the situation will still be ongoing. But because your brain will not be focused on it, you'll feel much better because you have broken that train of thought. And once you come back to whatever challenge you have, whatever situation you're going through, you can look at it perhaps with a fresh mind and have a new angle with which to approach it. So coming out of your negative thoughts will be extremely helpful with this. And in line with not focusing on negative thoughts is embracing mindfulness, not judging yourself for what you're going through, but just sitting quietly with your thoughts and not judging them and not judging yourself, but you're just trying to take in everything that you're going through and sifting through it and just being in it without really reacting on it. Because mindfulness is a practice that I believe is extremely helpful with challenging situations, as many people go through them. It could be also a spiritual journey that you're walking through that helps you embrace in your mindfulness, meditating with God, or if you're from a different religion that don't believe in God or whatever it is, just sitting down quietly with your thoughts, not pushing yourself, but just, trying to realize that sitting through some situations and thinking through them can help you get through the situation. It will not lead to the solution, or it may not be comfortable, but if you do it calmly, in a calm setting, in a calm manner, it can be helpful to you and calm you down, which is very important in life. Another thing that you can use while going through uncomfortable situations and trying to be comfortable with them is to be kind to yourself. Have self-compassion. Sometimes we are the hardest on ourselves when we go through difficult situations. Granted, we maybe have been the cause of the situation coming up in the first place, but that's neither here or there. Just realize that we are humans, and to eyes to humans, and even if you didn't cause whatever problem that you're in that's causing discomfort, just be patient with yourself and be kind to yourself while you're going through difficult situations. Be kind to yourself even when you're going through situations that are not difficult and you're comfortable. I believe that can be extremely helpful in life. Negative self-talk, whether you're expressing it loudly, verbally, or just quietly having it in your mind, is not the way to go. It doesn't help with anything. So look for ways that you can put a stop to it. If you maybe, come up with a trigger, with a word that you can use to start when you go into these uncomfortable situations, dark spaces, and where it will lead you to being unkind to yourself, lacking compassion for yourself. Just look for situations where you can stop that, and it will help you as you go through. And of course, in line with that is having a strong support system if you can. In some people, it could be families, friends, siblings, loved ones, therapists, or anybody who's willing and has the capacity to help you go through an uncomfortable situation. Perhaps it won't always be the same person, perhaps it will be, and perhaps you may find that some person may not be able to hold your hand through a difficult process, and someone else may at a different time. Like, nothing in life is stagnant, everything is flexible. So look for a support system, build relationships, not for the sole purpose of them being used for difficult situations, of course, but have a support system around you and develop relationships that can be there to help you through situations that are very difficult. Because going through tough situations alone, uncomfortable situations, can be very lonely, and I discourage that for anybody who is going through that. So talk to someone, build these relationships, and look for support where you can find it. Another aspect of going through uncomfortable situations that many people maybe do or don't realize is that one can embrace failure as well. One can, because embracing failure and using it as a learning tool instead of using it as an opportunity to chastise yourself further, I think it's easier to embrace it as a learning tool, because we will not succeed in everything that we try in life. And if you have and expect to for your entire life, congratulations. As for myself, and I have not. And now when I look back into situations that have failed, sometimes I can see the humor in it, sometimes I can see where I went wrong, sometimes I can see where a different person went wrong and how maybe I could have handled the situation better. But when you look back on situations and failures that you've had in life, they can help you grow and learn yourself and also learn others. So don't look at failure as something that should be necessarily overly embarrassing. Look at it as something that can help you move forward in life. Another aspect of getting comfortable in discomfort is to focus on the process and every step of the process as it leads you towards your ultimate goal. For example, if you're studying for something, you can't look at the end game and just say, I can't wait to get to the end goal, not the end game, but the end goal, and be done with this. Of course, that's one way to live life, but that's not fun. But you can look at the small breaks you get in between and once you've concluded with something, you give yourself a pat on the back and you celebrate your small win, and you continue with the next challenge in the chapter and the next challenge in the chapter, knowing that in the end, you're looking towards the final outcome, but without focusing on it too much and just enjoying the small wins that you gain along the way, because they're very helpful in helping you build yourself and to help you encourage yourself. So focus on the small wins and ultimately you'll get to your big win. And that's just the way life is. There's no other way to look at it. That is it. Of course, in line with that, it's also important to take breaks when needed. Sometimes you can be in a situation where no matter how much celebrating of a small win you do, or no matter how can I put it, how much positivity or blocking negative thoughts you try to go through, you still are just not getting it. And so breaks are welcome. If possible. For some people, it's not even possible to take a break. But if one has the possibility to take a break, it's important to do so. It could be long, it could be short. If it's like some academic institutions allow for breaks. If it's from a person, you are allowed to take a break from a person. Just inform them and don't ghost them, or whatever that form of behavior is called nowadays. But breaks are allowed in life. It's something that we all need and we all have to use to get through situations. And do not feel bad for taking a break, and don't let anybody hold it against you for taking a break if it's what you need, because you know what you need deep down. So take breaks, reevaluate your situation, focus on it, and of course, please go back to whatever it is you're doing if that's what you see for yourself in your life path. If not, re-strategize and come back and continue focusing on that. But if it is and the break is what you need, take it. Another thing that one can do while experiencing discomfort that can help you is to set realistic expectations. When I was in my undergraduate program, I was determined to finish it under, was it 3 years? And I always had a huge course overload, and so I was always reading, always studying, always doing this, that, and the other. In retrospect, given the same circumstance, I think I would have handled it differently. If I'd set a realistic expectation of making sure I enjoy my classes, enjoy my social life, enjoy life in general, while at the same time pursuing academic, I don't know what that was, excellence, academic excellence. I would focus on that, focusing on having realistic expectations instead of focusing on putting pressure on myself, because nobody had put pressure on me. Nobody had said to me, you have to finish your undergraduate degree under 3 years. It was something I solely told myself. And I did accomplish it, but at what expense? I was excited to graduate, but also by the time I was graduating, I was still fearful of, work life and the decisions I had to make to go to where I wanted to go. If I'd had given myself more time, maybe I could have explored, maybe going for counseling to figure out what it is I really wanted to do and what I wanted to focus on. But I didn't. I just figured on academia and that was all. But if one thing I'd advise people who are younger and are in college and who have the opportunity to change paths or to have a lighter workload is to do that and enjoy life and be realistic in your expectations for a better future for yourself. Not that my future was bad, but I can say my undergraduate life at university could have been way different if I was a little more relaxed. Another thing that one could do finally is to keep a journal. Sometimes when you put pen to paper, I'm old school, I'm 42 years old, pen to paper is my thing. I mean, you can of course journal online or on your electronic device, but for me, when I put pen to paper, it kind of helps in a weird way. I don't know if there's a scientific angle one can look into. Maybe I'll Google it and find out. But it's the calmness when you're writing. It takes time and you're putting your thoughts on paper and you're just expressing how you feel. Granted, with journaling, there's some people who journal better than others. I wouldn't call myself to be one of them. But it's a helpful tool that one can use when you're going through discomfort in your life. And sometimes when you look back and read your journal entries, it's amazing how far you've come. You wouldn't even have realized that a year ago. Because sometimes I read my journal entries from 4 years ago and I laugh at who I was, knowing that I've grown to be somebody completely different and I'm still okay. So if you can, and if you're interested in it, journal. I mean, there's nothing that says you must keep the journal. I'd encourage you to, but you can journal and throw it out. You can journal and keep it and read it. But if it does help, and I think if it does help, you should do it. Anything that helps, you should do. And those are my tips of how to go through situations where you're uncomfortable, experiencing discomfort, and just being comfortable with the situation. If you have any other tips, I'd be glad to hear them. So please comment below and please like the video, subscribe to my channel if everything I'm discussing is something that you'd like to keep on engaging in. And I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Take care and bye-bye.